and welcome everyone to the feast. I am so honored to be here. And I want to thank Sarah and all of the team at the feast, all of the faculty for giving of their time, donating their time, their wisdom to bring this feast together every year. And this is the 18th year. Can you imagine 18 years of bringing peace into the world, helping to build compassionate communities? And we are so blessed to be able to share this sacred time together. And I am truly grateful to be here because I've been on a medical journey and I have participated in the feast for many years, and I didn't believe I was going to be able to do it this year. But the heavens opened up and I was able to be here at day 36. Day 36. So I am grateful, and it's lovely to see you. It's lovely to see your smiling faces. I recognize some of you. Some of you have been here before. So nice to see you again. And those of you who I haven't met, well, so my name is Dr. Laurel Geise. I live in St. Petersburg, Florida, and we're having a huge storm outside right now. So I had to close all the shutters. I hope we don't hear a lot of thunder while we're together, but if we do, that's okay. I'm an author and evolutionary educator. My latest book, The Jesus Seeds, Igniting Your Soul-Guided Life, is about the journey of the soul from awakening to Christ consciousness. And I am also a meditation and mindfulness teacher, trainer, instructor, and have been, listen to this one, 30 years. This year, I met Sarah McLean 30 years ago this year, next month, if you can believe it, at the Chopra Center in La Jolla, California. And I was just moving through the grief of losing my husband to cancer. And I knew I needed something to help me, and meditation was the answer for me. And I went to La Jolla. I didn't know anybody. And I learned how to meditate, and Sarah gave me my primordial sound mantra. So for me, Sarah holds such a special place in my heart and always will for now and eternity, because that mantra, that meditation practice, becoming a teacher, that helped to heal me physically, emotionally, spiritually. And it's been such a blessing to be able to share meditation, mindfulness for the past 30 years. So, and Sarah, after this year, I'm going to drop the 30 because we might be showing our age.
Well, we started so young,
I was so young. So, and also for about 25 years, I've been teaching soul guided living. And so, what's that? Well, I call soul guided living a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle, and it's really it's based upon a mantra. It's 3 simple words. It's listen, align, and act. Listen, align, act. So listen for your soul guidance, which we're going to do today. Align our life with that guidance, and then act upon it. Very simple. And one of the foundational practices for soul guided living is meditation. And I know we've all been doing that for the past 36 days with the feast, right? And isn't that something? I was thinking about it today. 40 days of meditation practices and 40 minutes a day. That's amazing. So I do hope that as you move forward after the feast, that you continue the practices and go back and look at the videos, because this is just a treasure trove of wisdom. And again, thank you, Sarah, for helping us to have this session today. The other foundational practice for living a soul-guided life is called soul-guided journaling. So what is this? What is soul-guided journaling? Well, it's a simple, sacred, spiritual practice that was divinely architected to help you to connect with your soul, to consciously connect with your soul, so that you could receive your soul guidance and integrate it into your life. And why would you want to do this? Why? That's the question. Well, for me, it's because I believe that we're seekers. I believe that we're seekers. I think that if you're here, you're feeling that calling of the soul. You're feeling that longing that there is more, that there is an expansion of consciousness, that there are things and practices that we can do to consciously enhance, expand our awareness, to push beyond the boundaries of what our reality is today and become limitless. So what I would like to do today is share with you soul guided journaling. We'll have a meditation and then journaling. And so how does this work? I think that's a good question, right? How does soul guided journaling work? Well, it's very simple. What we do is we start with a meditation, and it's a silent meditation. Why silent? Because we want to be able to bring our attention, our awareness inward and move into that stillness, move into that peace, move into that calm so that it's easier for us to listen. Once we're in that calm, we listen, and we listen with our divine ears, not our physical ears, but our divine ears. And as we listen, as you listen, you may hear maybe a word, maybe a couple of words, maybe a sentence. Also, you may have a feeling or an emotion. You may hear music, or you might see colors or have a vision of something, because the soul is multidimensional and the soul is limitless, and therefore what we receive is not to be limited. So whatever occurs during that time that we set aside for soul guided journaling, we write it in our soul journal. So does everyone have a journal or a piece of paper to write on today? That's real important to be able to participate, and also a pen or something to write with. Okay, so make sure that you have that. So with soul guided journaling, so we have the meditation, we move into silence, we become calm and peaceful. We listen for the guidance, we capture it, we write it in our soul journal. And then here's the secret to soul guided journaling. Here's what I discovered. It's important then to put the journal away and not read it until tomorrow morning. And you might be wondering, well, why is that? Why should I put it away and not read it? Well, what I discovered when I first started doing this was that as I was receiving the soul guidance, I received it, that was fine. But then when I tried to read it, I kept hearing my ego say, why are you doing this? I don't understand why you're spending time writing this in a journal. This doesn't make any sense. I think this is a waste of time. And I discovered there's this talk track in my head. And that talk track is the ego, it's the personality. So by putting away the soul journal and not reading it until tomorrow morning, it allows the ego to go to the back seat, and it allows the soul to come forward as your cosmic chauffeur. It allows the soul to provide you with the guidance to help you to facilitate your life. You know, before you were born, your soul architected this entire life for you. And she knows what the path is. She knows what the path is. And by her knowing that, she can help us by guiding us. And in that experience of receiving the guidance and reading the guidance, it literally helps to move us from a space of struggle and strife into living with more grace and ease. Does that make sense to everyone? So it's a very simple practice. It's deceptively simple, but divinely architected to help us to expand our consciousness. And as that is one of the goals of this experience, right, with a feast for the soul, is, you know, to help to expand consciousness on the earth and to build compassionate communities. This practice integrates very, very well with any of the meditative practices that you've learned, or if you already have one. So, what we'll do today, we will begin in a moment with the meditation. It'll be a silent meditation. So, if you have a mantra, or if you prefer, you could just use a breath awareness practice where you're just focusing on your breath and just moving into the silence. And we'll meditate together for about 15 minutes or so. And then we'll transition into soul guided journaling as a group. And before we do that, I'm going to share with you a mantra. I'll give it to you now. It's open deeply and receive completely. And I'll say that to you, and I'll ask you just to repeat that in your mind, if you will. Again, just setting that intention that we're going to open deeply and receive completely whatever our soul would like to share with us today. Okay? Does that sound good? All right, so let me check the time. Yep, perfect. We are right on time. So I think now everyone has been admitted and everyone has their journal and their pen. Yes? So if you're ready, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. If it feels comfortable, close your eyes and try to be as physically comfortable as you can. When we're engaged in a meditation practice, it's really important that our physical bodies are comfortable, because otherwise we'll be thinking about, uh-oh, my back hurts, or my leg hurts, or my wrist hurts. So being as comfortable as you possibly can and keeping your eyes closed. And we'll begin our journey into the silence, into the stillness. And if you have a mantra, I invite you to use that mantra silently in your mind. Or if you prefer to use a breath awareness practice, you may simply focus your awareness on your breath, focusing on a deep inhalation, followed by a relaxing exhalation. All the while moving us towards the stillness, towards the silence. And as we move deeper into the meditation, you may find that there's different thoughts in your mind, different sensations in the body, maybe different sounds in the environment around you. And every time you become aware that your attention is not focused on your mantra or your breath, just very gently bring your attention back, bring your awareness back to your breath or that mantra. I will keep track of the time. We'll meditate together for about 15 minutes, and I will let you know when our meditation is over and it's time to transition into our soul guided journaling. So enjoy your meditation. And now keeping your eyes closed, let's repeat this mantra silently in our minds. Open deeply, receive completely. Open deeply, receive completely. Open deeply, receive completely. And now taking a deep breath in. On the exhalation, let's let go of that mantra. Move back into the stillness. And as we prepare for our soul guided journaling, I invite you to keep your eyes closed and just very gently move your head from side to side, just very gently stretching, bringing your awareness back into the room. And now moving your fingers, feeling your fingers so that you can write. And wiggling your toes, just feeling your feet on the ground. And taking some time to make a very, very gentle, smooth transition from our meditation into soul guided journaling. Take your time. And when you're ready, you may open your eyes. We'll get our soul journal and our pen. And we're going to take a few minutes in this stillness, in the silence, and simply write down what we're hearing, what we're feeling, what we're seeing, and take as much time as you need. Again, being very, very gentle with yourself. And when you're done receiving, you can simply close your journal and just close your eyes for a moment. We'll stay in the silence, giving everyone time to receive their soul guidance. And let me just check in. Does anyone need any more time, or are we okay? I'm seeing some thumbs up here. We're okay. All right. Well, I'd like to be mindful of the time. So I'd like to give you a few tips to help you as you move forward with your soul-guided journaling experience. I hope that was a relaxing experience. And I hope that you will continue with your soul-guided journaling. You have some great opportunities with the Feast for the Soul to meditate, and then after that meditation session to engage in your soul-guided journaling. So the first tip I have is that I encourage you to engage in divine time every day, even after the feast is over. So divine time to me is my time spent in meditation and prayer, soul-guided journaling, walking in nature, creating art, being in that sacred space and giving that gift to myself every day. And secondly, I would encourage you to treat your soul journal as a sacred journal. For me, I actually have this bag right here that I keep my journal in. I bought this 20 years ago in Tibet. It's falling apart now, but I still use it every day. I put my journal in here, and it helps me to remember that the words that I receive from my soul are sacred. They're divine. It's a direct revelation from your soul to your heart. And I believe that these words deserve to be treated as sacred. And so I do. So I keep it in this bag. And I actually have an altar, so I put it on my altar. And I love going back and reading my soul guidance. And here's the third tip. The third tip is, once you begin this practice, and I would encourage you to do this every day, and I know sometimes it's not feasible to do things every single day because we have so many different spiritual practices we try to integrate. But what I can say is that the more you do this, the more powerful that connection with your soul becomes. And so to get the most benefit out of the practice, engaging in soul-guided journaling every day really helps to strengthen that connection with the soul. It makes the communication easier, and it allows you to receive more guidance from your soul. And then the fourth tip is to reread the soul guidance. So the soul guidance that you receive, now I know you're not going to peek at it today, but tomorrow morning when you get up, I know you're going to open your journal and you're going to read it. So remember, the practice is you'll get up in the morning and read what you wrote today, what you received today, what was the soul guidance of today. You'll go back into the meditation. You'll have your meditation practice, whatever that may be. And again, I believe going into the stillness is most helpful for this practice. And then at the end, to receive your soul guidance, write it in your journal, and then put the journal away. So you can see how this can become part of your daily sacred time. And what happens is that once you start doing this, you'll be able to go back and read your soul guidance, like, what did I write for this week? So pick a day of the week. I always use Sunday morning, where I go back and I read my soul guidance for the week. And then I'll go back and read it at the end of the month. So I'll have a whole month of guidance to read. And then I'll do this once a quarter and go back and read 3 months, a quarterly reflection. And then I also, like, my favorite day of the year is at the end of the year, I go back and I read all of the guidance for the year. Now, why would I do this? I do this because there's several reasons. Number one, because the first time that you read your soul guidance, you begin to receive it. But since it's multidimensional, it's multifaceted, there is so much there that we really don't begin to see until we read it a couple of times, if that makes sense. And allow yourself to take it in. And over time, what happens is you begin to see the themes. You begin to see these threads that begin to weave throughout the soul journal. And that helps you as you move into that grace and ease. You'll see the steps that are being laid out in front of you, and you'll be able to receive that guidance. Does that make sense? So I would encourage you to do that. So as your journal grows, to take that time to go back every week and every month, every quarter. And then at the end of the year, oh my goodness, my favorite day of the year. In fact, I love to take my journals. I live in Florida, so it's actually warm out in December. I can go out and go to the beach and just sit on the beach and just read through all of the journals. And the benefit here is that you actually get to consciously observe your hero or heroine's journey. This is your spiritual journey. This is your conscious unfolding of your awareness as this human being. And for me, it brings me great comfort to be able to reflect back and to look and to actually connect the dots. And by doing that, I can begin to see what steps are coming in the future. So it's a very powerful practice. I hope it's one that you'll continue to engage in even after today. I can't wait for you to read your soul journal in the morning and find out what is there. It's always a gift. It's so wonderful, I have to say, to wake up in the morning and open my journal and read. And it could be a word. It might be a couple words. It might be a sentence. And I don't pay any attention to spelling, grammar, any of that. Just getting that expression down on the page. Maybe it's a color, an emotion, whatever it is. We don't judge it. We just simply receive it. And over time, that messaging becomes more and more clear. And in closing, what I wanted to do is share with you I was reading the Jesus Seeds this morning, and in the back of the book, there's an appendix, and it talks about soul-guided journaling. And I read this paragraph, and I was like, oh, I just must share this. So if you'll indulge me. The simplicity of this practice should not be dismissed because God has been elegant in architecting this solution for providing your soul's guidance to you in a clear and unedited fashion. Your soul is waiting for you to consciously connect with her. In that connection, she will reward you with the treasure of your greatest self if you give her a few minutes every day. The nuggets of wisdom and signposts for your journey can only come from your soul. Her truth will be honest, and her way showing perfection. Allow yourself this daily gift. Dive deeply into your soul guidance. Watch the magic and mystery of your life unfurl, knowing in all certainty your soul guidance is available to uplift you and propel your evolutionary growth. Now, if you've had an experience today, if any of this has resonated with you, I offer a monthly, once a month, we get together, and I call it the monthly soul guided journaling experience. And in fact, this experience was born out of the Feast for the Soul. 4 years ago, after I led a session like this, I had several people come to me and say, would you be willing to do this more than once a year? And I said, yes, I would. And there were people interested in doing that. So once a month, typically on a Sunday, We get together for 90 minutes to about 2 hours. We have a meditation, a silent meditation, followed by a group soul guided journaling. And I do believe that there is magic in a group, not only meditating together, but soul guided journaling together. There's something there. There's a mystery and a magic. And then each person who is there has the opportunity to share what's going on with their personal evolution, what they're receiving, what their soul guidance is. And it's a safe, sacred space. It's confidential. I don't record it. It's just a place where we can come and we can share what's unfurling in our lives. So if that's something that would be of interest to you, there's 2 ways that you can connect with me, okay? The first is you could send me an email. So write down my email address. I'll give it to you. This is my personal email. It's laurel.geise@gmail.com. So it's LAUREL.geise, GEISE @gmail.com. That's my personal email. Just send me an email with your name and your email address, and I'll send you an invitation and you can join us. The other way that you can get a hold of me is to text me. That text number would be 727, it's a United States number, 727-501-6675. So 727-501-6675. And again, if you just provide me with your name and your email address, I'll send you an invitation. We'd love to have you. We'd love to support you. It is magical. Every month we get together and there's always a thread of synchronicity when we're sharing what is unfolding in our soul guidance. There's always connections, and it's one of the highlights of my month, that's for sure. And if you can't text me, I was just thinking, because I know we have people here from multiple countries, I am on WhatsApp. So you could WhatsApp me at that same number, 727-501-6675. It's a US number. So I'm on WhatsApp too. We can connect that way. So I want to thank you. I'm so grateful. And if you would just indulge me, I would just like to take a moment and just share that gratitude. If it feels comfortable, just place your hands on your heart and just feel, if you would, just feel into this presence that is here with us today, how connected we are all by our hearts. And just having deep, deep gratitude for this time that we were able to share together, this divine time. Thanking the Feast for the Soul, again, the leaders, the organizers, the faculty, the community, everyone giving freely of their time and their service to promote this peace throughout the world and to build compassionate communities. I can feel all of you. I hope you can feel me. And just letting that gratitude radiate throughout your body. And I hope that you'll take that with you. And I think that we would have some time for questions if you have any. But I know that, Sarah, I think we would stop the recording before we do that, right?